So I'm going to interact with all of you on another important aspect which is intimately related to teaching component, that is teaching and research. Now just to give you what I'll be covering during my interaction, will be focusing on why there is need, what is the status of research and development in the country, India, what are the growth opportunities which are available to us for research, what is the number of technical institutions, and what is the status of our research in technical institutions, and what kind of problems we are facing in the technical institutions. Then we'll go to how the various components of the technical education system can be taken up and research can be carried out in those aspects. And lastly, I'll simply give you an overview of the research process. Now here you see we have already ushered into knowledge society. When I say we have already ushered into knowledge society, the imperatives of knowledge society are that knowledge is generated, distributed, and utilized for sustainable development. That is the focus of research. And research and innovations are closely linked to each other, because if we take research or undertake research, it may further lead to innovation. Innovation in terms of techniques, processes, products, etc. And Scott has very rightly remarked that when knowledge generation is the focus, that anybody who is in the education system, they need to have the skills in undertaking research. Only then the impetus to research can be given. And here the requirements of knowledge society are that the problems which are faced by the society, they require solutions which are not discipline specific, but the solutions which require multidisciplinary knowledge, or the solution which require interdisciplinary knowledge. So the research which is being carried out in 21st century or in the knowledge society, such as we are dealing with the problems of water, energy, health, and so on, these issues require that we carry out research which is multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary. So pure disciplined research will be less emphasized in today's context, and the research which we undertake, that should lead to solution of a specific problem in a given context. We cannot take up research for the sake of research. Research has to be taken up which help the individual to improve the quality of life of people, or it leads to enhancing efficiency and effectiveness of an organization. That organization may be an institution, may be an industry, or any other agency. So the research needs to be socially relevant, and it should lead to enhancing quality of life of people through problem solving. India at present has taken up a position where it is going to be globally competitive, because Korea, Brazil, China, and India, these four countries, they have the capability to strengthen the R&D and take up R&D and also produce scientists and technicians. So this is a report, UNESCO science report, which emphasizes on that. And there are a number of sectors of economy which have shown tremendous potential for R&D in the country. And these include information technology, information technology enabled services. And some of the companies which have taken the leap forward, they include TCS, Wipro, Infosys, uh, HCL Technologies, etc. Another sector is that of telecom, semiconductor design or design of chips. And Texas Instrument, National Semiconductors, Intel, Analog Devices, ST Microelectronics, Cadence, Synopsys, Motorola. These are few examples of the industry in telecom and semiconductor design of chips. Then in the pharmaceutical sector also, India has created a niche for itself, and the companies include the Ranbaxy, Nicholas, Pyramid Zydus, Cadila, Dr. Reddy's Lab, Quintils, etc. And in the area of biotechnology, uh, I don't know how to speak this, but you can see Syngene and Kingen, etc. These are the companies which are contributing a lot to R&D. But if we still compare the expenditure on R&D with other developed countries or developing countries, we find the expenditure on R&D at present in the country is less than 1% of GDP. So it is at present around 0.9%. But if you give a look at the China, the expenditure is almost double. That is 1.84% of their GDP. So they are spending double the amount of their gross domestic product on research. USA, if you see, it is 2.7%, Japan it is 3.67%. So a lot of financial resources are available for carrying out research activity in other countries. And this is a little data which is little older, but 80% of what is spent on research is the government share, and 20% is incurred by the private sector. And UNESCO report said that central government consume 57 point or 58%, public sector industry contribution is less than 5%, private sector 26%, state government 7.7%, and higher education sector contribution is less than again 5%. Whereas we expect that higher education sector in the country should contribute more to research. And whatever funds are allocated to research, 12 organizations in the country, they consumes around 85 to 86% of those funds. And these include CSIR, then DRDO, Department of Atomic Energy, Department of Biotechnology, Department of Science and Technology, then Ministry of Environmental Sciences, ICAR, ICMR, MICT, and MNRE. These are the organizations which are taking up the chunk of that, largest chunk of that expenditure on R&D. And they float number of projects, number of schemes in the country for taking to the people like people working in professional organizations, higher educational institutions, and the research labs to take up sponsored projects and do some problem solving. When it comes to the question of how many doctoral degrees we are able to produce, the data provides an evidence that it is less than 9,000 per year. Whereas China is producing 50,000 doctoral degrees in a year, USA 25,000. And the contribution of technical engineering and technology, it is around 16 to 1700. Earlier it was less than 1,000. Now it has risen to almost 16 to 1700 per year. So even the number of people which we are producing, and they are taking up doctoral research is very meager in comparison to other countries. Then the question of patents, you see how many are filed and how many are granted. Here you will see a major difference. China in 2011, they filed about 4,37,608 patents. Out of that, around 1,18,000 were granted. But look, what is our contribution? A country which is considered to be the second most populous country. Here, we had only filed 15,717 and the number granted was less than 2,900. So again, we need to see how much is our contribution with respect to the patents. But the scenario has to be changed, because in coming years, by the year 2020 or 2025, major sectors of economy, they are likely to show very good growth and development. They have a potential to excel. That potential to excel can be realized only when we have people within the system who can take up research and development activity to allow any sector to diversify, to produce new products, to come out with new techniques, new technologies, and so on. And here you see what are those sectors which are likely to show growth opportunities. This includes manufacturing, pharmaceutical market, software product industry, automotive sector, construction market, biotechnology, healthcare sector, as well as engineering, research and design sector. Needed at present is that we require a huge mass of R&D personnel in the country. Without having researchers, we can actually go on contributing to the developmental process. Earlier it was said research and development. Now the terminology which comes into vogue is research for development. How research can contribute to the development process. As far as Government of India is concerned, they have set targets for 12th five-year plan. And when we say they have set targets for 12th five-year plan, you see at present the level of researchers and scientists is around 0.15 million. So by the end of 12th five-year plan, there is a plan to increase the number, the critical mass which we need to have is 0.25 million scientists and researchers. So a lot of research programs need to be floated and many people need to register for those. And we know that at present the people who are in the technical education system, they are facing a difficulty. There are no supervisors available. Many people are not able to pursue their research work because they don't have the places. So there is a limit imposed upon having the researchers. Then increase in the output as far as the publications are concerned. At present, the contribution is 3%. So it is envisaged that by the end, we'll be able to have 5% contribution to the publication at a global level. Then the ranking of India is 9th. So even that ranking, we need to have the 6th ranking. This is what is planned. And there is also an effort to double the number of patents. So people, the awareness need to be created among the people, because many people do good work, but they're not filing patents. So they first publish the materials. Once you publish the material, you cannot then go in for patent. So patenting of ideas, patenting of processes, patenting of products. So what is the procedure? At present, we have the offices, many people don't know where are the offices, what is the process, and people don't file. So that awareness need to be created among the general masses to achieve this, that we need to double the number of the patents which are being filed and granted. Then the patent portfolio, that is at present 2%, and it is target is to increase it to 5 to 6%. As I said, Government of India at present spends less than 1% on the research. So the target again is to double the expenditure. At present, the government share is 60 to 65%, and the rest of it comes from the private sector. So the government is envisaging that by the end of 12th five-year plan, 50% of the expenditure on research will be met by the private sector. Then investments from corporate sector, they are to be in private sector or the corporate sector need to be motivated to contribute to the research and development, and then 10 to 15% of the public investment is likely exclusively meant for public-private partnerships. Even in the education sector, you see that government has given that call for public-private participation as far as setting up of new institutions is concerned, but not many private parties are coming forward to set up and take benefit of triple P activities. Now come to, I have already given you the data on the very first day that we have third largest system of education in place. And this system, when we say higher education, it is inclusive of technical education system. And there are about 700 universities in the country which are providing programs from starting from undergraduate to the doctoral level programs are being offered. Then there are colleges, 33,000 colleges are there which are catering to the education needs of the people. And there are about 8,562 engineering colleges, 3,524 polytechnics, and 14,000 industrial training institutes are there. So each institution is taking up some research activity which is limited at present, and there are a number of factors which are leading to that. The quality of our programs is a big question mark. At present, only 20% of the programs which are offered at the degree level, they are accredited. And that too, tier 1 campuses have gone in for, and then most of the tier 1 campuses come into the fold. Now that India has signed the Washington Accord and has become a permanent signatory to the Washington Accord, tier 1 campuses. What are those tier 1 campuses? The campuses which enjoy autonomy, who design their own curricula, who take their own examination and declare the results. Those institutions come under the fold of accreditation first, and all the programs need to be accredited. Then the students who graduate from technical institutions, only 3% of them at present opt for master's degree. So again, there are not many opportunities for the people to pursue masters, or the people's first preference after graduation is to join a job and then continue with the master's degree program, but only 3% of them are coming forward. And then the students who join PhD program, it is only 1% of those who complete their masters. So the number of people who are pursuing their higher education at master's level or PhD is not sufficient. It is quite inadequate as far as the country is concern. So what is the scenario of research in technical institutions? One of the assumptions which we have, teaching and research, which are an integral components of any educational institutions, we treat teaching as separate component and research as a separate component. If you have read the report which came, it also said that our universities, they have become only teaching shops or teaching institutions. There is not due emphasis given to the research activity. And the person who is in teaching, he doesn't take up much research, and the person who enters into the research area, he doesn't do much of the teaching. So teaching and research go in separate directions. Another factor which inhibits the people from taking up research activities is the high cost of research. First thing, the funds are limited, funds are available, funds are not. This report came in 2000, the World Bank had taken up. They say that whatever funds are available within the country for research, people are not able to optimally utilize that research fund. Even many of the organizations which float sponsored research projects, not all the grant is consumed, because there are not many good projects which are coming from the people working within the system, and high cost of research because you require machinery, equipment, tools, and you require the latest technology to carry out research in the emerging areas. So you are somehow, the people within the system are delimited, or I would say it acts as a limitation, because institutions are not able to provide that kind of latest technology which is needed to carry out research in emerging areas. Then the number of research laboratories, they are limited, and many of the research labs, now the era is changing. Many research labs are coming forward to provide a facility to the people to come and undertake research in the research labs. CSIR hai, CSIU labs hai. So earlier they were not open to the public. Now they are coming out of their shell, and they are opening up and joining hands and take up collaborative research, and they are also trying to provide awareness to the young people as far as the research process, research activities. Many of the people now are invited to take up their projects at master's level in the research labs. So that opportunity is at present available, but is limited. Then as far as our collaboration with the industry is concerned, or collaboration with the research laboratories is concerned, is again limited. So what is needed? That there is a need to create a culture of collaboration and networking among industry, institutes, and research laboratories to give a boost to the research which is taken up. There are problems, as I said, inadequate contribution of the industry. Industry is more interested in taking up the finished product. That means the students who have all the capabilities. So they think they have no role to play as far as the training is concerned, but they are looking for the people who possess the competencies to work effectively. Lack of networking, as I said. Premier institutions. Now, what are those premier institutions? Like Indian Institutes of Technology, Indian Institutes of Management, or National Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences. सुना होगा आपने ना, NIPER, Pharmaceutical Education and Research. Then you have Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research. Now the government is changing the policies. All these premier institutions, they are likely to act as mentors, facilitators for the other institutions. So IITs have already been asked, ICES have been involved in acting as mentors for other degree level or post degree level institutions, and there's lot of stress. At present we have limited scholarship facilities which are available. Even at this institute we are offering a doctoral program, so people are pursuing their PhDs, but that facility is open to the people from the polytechnic where they get the scholarship under QIP. But the people who come from engineering colleges, that facility is still not extended to them. So there is a need to have more scholarship for the people who can pursue their research. Another, I have written that research, when it is undertaken, the quality of research is declining. No, I don't know, because where you have access to information through computers, internet, cut, copy, paste culture that has emerged. Even at the master's level, we come across cases where it is simple copying of the research work which has been carried out somewhere in the world. So now the plagiarism, the cases which are coming up, and you might have come across that even faculty is not devoid of that. Faculty has also entered into plagiarism. The students are also entering into plagiarism, and they are in the net of plagiarism because they copy and then they submit their work. And there are a number of instances which we have come across. So wherever you would like to publish a paper, wherever you would like to disseminate the information of your research, first you are subjected to the software, that is to check to what extent you have copied from other sources. And this is where the research is mundane, because life problems of the industry or the society, they are not being taken up by the students. So what is it? The research which you carry out, that becomes a showcase in the library, and it is referred by a person who takes up that kind of a research. It has no practical value. So whatever your research you carry out should lead to solving a particular problem and should lead to such a certain product which can be of use or which can lead to improving the quality of life of people. Another, you see, recent phenomena is that a paper on research methodology has been introduced into the curricula of various master's degree programs, and research methodology has become essential course for the people who are likely to pursue their PhD programs. Whether it is PTU, whether it is Punjab University, whether it is any other technical university, now this is essential program which the people need to undergo. Now the problem which we face here, person working in computer science is not able to teach this. Person working in mechanical engineering, he says, no, research methodology you give to the people from the education, because they have studied educational research, so they need to teach the research. My question is, why a person, because when I start teaching as a person from the field of education, maybe I am limited to the extent the knowledge I possess. I can relate it to the field of education, but when it comes to relating to the field of mechanical, civil, electrical, I find that the person who is doctorate in mechanical or computer science or electrical is better suited to deal with the problem in the area of mechanical, computer science or electrical. So can we have the team teaching concept where the people from the education research and the people from the discipline, they join hands and teach that paper, will be more useful, where it has the practical value for the student. Or I need to acquire the mastery over mechanical engineering to deal with the examples, which is little difficult task for me. Then, so exposure to research methodology is another area, and I'll not say it is restricted to your discipline only, but when you join the profession of the teaching, you need to have knowledge of research which can be carried out in the area of teaching. So you require knowledge of the process of undertaking research. Then the bureaucratic setup and inadequate government policies. Now see how much time is taken when you submit a project for sponsorship. Sometimes it takes more than a year. Guys, by the time that project is sponsored, the motivation of the person to take up the project goes down. So what is needed is that the lengthy procedures which lead to delay in the decision making and so on, that also acts as a hindrance as far as the people within the system is concerned. So these are some problems and issues which need to be tackled, which need to be solved to give a boost to research. Now I come to, when we talk in terms of the technical education, it can be viewed as a system. One component of the system is that you take up research in the area of your specialization. You take up a research in mechanical engineering, you take up a research in professional communication, or you take up a research in civil or electrical engineering. That is one, that you are taking up research in your core branch of engineering or technology or your core area of specialization. But once you have joined as a teacher, your responsibility is to undertake research in the area of technical education also. And viewed as a system, the technical education system consists of input. So what is your input? What is the input to the technical education system? Yes? क्या है हमारा input? मोनिका बोल रही है देखो, students. So students who are taking admission with 10 plus 2 to the degree colleges, after 10 to the diploma level institutions, they are the input. Now, if we really, on the very first day, I have interacted with you, what are the problems which we are facing in the technical education system and why the quality of instruction is going down? And we have all agreed that we are in an age where student-centered activity should be in place, but we are still focusing on teacher-centered activities. And the heterogeneity has increased as far as the students are concerned. Our examination system is also not reliable, valid, and objective. But when it comes to input, where you say that heterogeneity has increased, as a teacher, can I take up a study which tells me what is the learning style of my student? Do they learn when they listen? Do they learn when they see visual things are there? When they do they have the kinesthetic learning style? Do my student possess the previous knowledge, skills, and attitudes? Even that I can take a study and let you know. If my students are motivated or they are interested in what they are doing, motivation and interest can also be assessed, and you can carry out small studies whereby you can see what is the level of the knowledge, skills and attitudes the students bring to the class, what is the level of motivation and interest, do my students have the aptitude for pursuing a course in mechanical engineering, or do they possess the aptitude for pursuing a course in electrical engineering or computer science? Because if a person possesses the aptitude, then there are greater chances that he'll be successful in that particular program or a course. So input is the student, and there are so many areas when we talk about physical, social, emotional, cognitive characteristics of our students, and we talk about diversity, then we can take up studies which enable the teacher to know what kind of input I am bringing to my institution, or what kind of input do I have in my class that I can take up small study. Curriculum and instructional processes. Now, at present, there is a severe criticism against the curriculum which is in vogue, and everybody says curriculum is obsolete. We are teaching all those topics which were there 20 years back, still those topics are being taught in the curriculum. They have lost their significance. What it hints of. We need to revise the curriculum. We need to evaluate the curriculum. We need to also take up studies. What are the different models of designing the curriculum? At present, whatever curricula at the degree level is in vogue, the Board of Studies design the curriculum. Now, there can be different ways of designing. Now, people are going for multi-point credit-based system of evaluation. And the curricular design is such that each course is independent of other courses, and it is also ensured what are the prerequisites, previous knowledge of the courses which is essential to pursue a particular course. You cannot opt for a course if you have not studied or successfully completed those courses. It allows the student to pursue the course at his pace and at the time convenient to him. So, are you going for a sequential curriculum? Are you going for a spiral curriculum? Are you going for the curriculum which is, आपने अभी बोला कि curriculum which have distinct subjects? Are you looking for a curriculum which have a combination of multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary kind of subjects? There are different ways of designing the curriculum. So, which will be more effective in today's context? Everybody knows that now the focus would be on outcome-based education. And you have to, as the institutions will be moving forward for accreditation, all institutions need to design the curricula based upon the graduate attributes. That means you need to look into the graduate attributes as has been given by American Board of Engineering and Technology, that is ABET. All those A to K, they need to be filled in. So you need to write program education objectives, the program of outcomes, then the learning outcomes, and all your curricula should aim at enabling the student to develop those attributes so that it can be gainfully employed. So you are trying to enhance the employability. At the same time, you are allowing the student for international recognition so that he can move from one country to another. Parity of qualifications would be there. So curriculum design needs to be changed. So I would say that at present, the BVB College of Engineering Hubli and Bangalore, this is which college? BMS College of Engineering, Bangalore, they are the leaders as far as outcome-based education is concerned, and they have tried to design the curricula in such a manner that it helps in developing those attributes which are enlisted in ABET. So one needs to design curricula as per the requirements of the context, and at the same time this curriculum, when we design a curriculum, we need to find out how do we design, which is the method which is more effective and efficient in designing the curriculum. Again, lot of research is needed. Research, maybe you need to take up the manpower spectrum studies. What level the people who graduate, they work in the industry. What is the competency profile of those people who would be required in the 10 years or 5 years? What will be the number of the people, and what will be the knowledge, skills and attitudes which would be required on the part of the people? If you take a systematic data and information, that need to be translated into the experiences which need to be provided. So curricular and co-curricular experience which are to be designed, and they can be segregated into the courses and so on. So which is the method which will be more useful, and what kind of data and evidence is required for designing the curriculum, and that you can take up only when you take up research in the area of curriculum. Then the curriculum which is in vogue, you need to evaluate. Maybe you would like to take the opinion of the students who are undergoing a program. You may be interested in knowing what are the reactions of the teacher towards the curriculum which is in vogue. You may like to take the feedback from the pass outs who are entering into the world of work, to what extent they are able to transfer the knowledge which was gained in the program. How the employers feel, do the graduates possess the competences which were expected of them? So whole lot of studies, they can be taken up in the area of curriculum. ठीक बात है? Agree करते हो कि नहीं? Okay. Then any curriculum which is designed need to be implemented. And how do we implement the curriculum? We implement the curriculum through instructional process. And instructional processes, we say theory classes is one, practical classes is another, on-the-job training is another component, project work is another component of our instructional processes. In addition to that, number of co-curricular activities are organized by the institution. Now, say for example, I am teaching. There is wide variety of instructional strategies which can be used. You are familiar with. Today you had the participants of induction, they had exposure to case study brainstorming and seminars. Now, the question arises, when I am going to teach mechanical engineering, or maybe I am taking a subject, say theory of machines. If I am going to this particular topic, which particular instructional strategy would be more effective in maximizing the learning on the part of the student? Can I teach through lecture? Can I teach through project? Can I teach through discussion? Can I teach through realia? Can I teach through taking the students to practical work? How I am going to teach the theory of machine? Which particular instructional strategy? The expository, the guided, or the discovery? Which strategy is going to help me in achieving the learning outcomes of that particular topic? That is the basic question. Now, I let you know, earlier we have been using these strategies, but now people have started experimenting with new strategies. So project-based learning, problem-based learning, collaborative learning, cooperative learning, and there is a lot of research evidence which says that if you use project-based, problem-based or collaborative or cooperative learning strategies, the learning is higher than what you are able to achieve through lecture. One, as a teacher, how many times we have thought that the method which I am using is effective, that my students' learning is maximized? I don't think many of us have paid attention to that. So there is a need, because each subject is different than the other. Each context is different than the other. Each situation is different than the other. So as a teacher, if you really want to improve or enhance your effectiveness, then you need to take up studies by experimenting with different strategies. You must review the literature which is already available to have judicious decision, and then you prove that this strategy worked better than the other. When I say instructional processes, at this institute, the students who have been pursuing their masters in technology, that is MTech engineering education, they have taken up studies in the area of instructional methods and media. Like, people have worked in the area of for the electronics on contextually relevant teaching. Another person has worked in the area of electronics on project-based learning. Another person worked on the collaborative learning. These studies have already proved that if you change the strategy, that was taken up in the field of mathematics, collaborative learning, how people collaborate to solve problems, and whether learning is more or not. So it has been proved, if you change, then project-based learning, problem-based learning, these strategies really yield the result. So research evidence is already available with you. So please try to find out what are the strategies which prove effective teaching mathematics, teaching science, teaching electrical engineering, teaching mathematics. So now, if you are familiar with all management institutions, they try to focus on case studies, because that strategy has been found to be effective in developing the required managerial skills or the capability to manage. So can we come out with, if I have to teach electrical engineering, what are the ways? And it has been said that engineering and technology, minor projects, major projects, and problem based. These are the two effective strategies. So you can start experimenting with it. When I say instructional processes, even your media which you use, all these. When we say mathematics, the board may prove to be more effective than the power. But when it comes to animation simulation, the subject where animation and simulations can be there, the board may not be utilized, but animation and simulation can prove to be more effective. But let me know how many of you, when start teaching a particular topic or a subject, try to analyze, I'm going to teach this subject and there are 10 topics in it. First topic, which strategy should I use? What kind of method, what kind of media should I integrate? Hardly any. Hardly any. But yes, these are the questions which need to be answered to improve effectiveness. अब देखिए, we have taken up the MTech students the integration of Neptel material where animation and simulations were available. Those were integrated into teaching learning of physics. My student took up this project. And when he tried to compare the two classes, where one was taught through pure lecture method, another was taught through integration of Neptel material where animation and simulations were available, it was found that students had greater interest in the classes where animation and simulation was used. When it was supplemented by the NAPTEL material, the learning was more. So even it was found that number of questions which were posed by the student, those were higher in case of animation and simulation was used, and which was less in case of lecture method. So you need to try out as teachers, what is it that works in my class? Am I proficient in handling a PowerPoint? Am I proficient in handling? Now you have with the internet, I would say NAPTEL is one, NCTEL is another web portal. Then you have Learners TV, which you can exploit the potential of that. You have Coursera, you have other learning materials where you have MIT course materials also available. Have a look at that and find out where you can bring innovation in your instructional processes and you can maximize the learning of your student. So studies need to be taken up, the research needs to be taken up in the area of instructional process. We send our students to industrial training. How many of you are satisfied with the way the students are trained in the industry? बोलो, सिंपल सवाल पूछा मैंने. नहीं है, क्यों नहीं हो? How many times you have ensured to assess the reason why it is not being done? Have you ever interacted with the people of the industry? Have you tried to get a feedback, systematic feedback from your students, why they are not involved in the processes which are going on? There are a number of reasons. At this institute, we have taken up traces studies of the pass outs from the diploma level institutions, and we found that industry, one of the reasons described was the students lack the knowledge. The students lack the practical skills. Where do I involve them? Because industry is a profit-oriented organization. They cannot disturb the manufacturing processes. They can involve the students if they have the competence, they have some confidence in handling the own processes. Because in IT, ITS, it doesn't matter because nothing is going to be disturbed. People can explore, people can experiment. But ongoing processes in manufacturing or other industry, maybe it is a difficult proposition. So they are looking for students who have some knowledge, some practical skills so that they can be gainfully employed. Another, they said it is left entirely to the student. Teachers never take the pain to come to the industry and tell us why training is required. This may be case with majority of the people, but few of them are excelling in this area. जी, अब देखिए उनको अगर आपसे कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला तो industry will not come forward. So they join hands where they see they will get something from the institution and institutions see that they'll gain out of this collaboration. Abhi trends are changing. We have number of institutions. Again, I will say College of Engineering Pune, NIMS, ये BVB, BMS, इन लोगों ने industry, even CGC, Chandigarh University here in Guruma, they have tried to establish linkages and collaborations with the industry. और उसमें क्या हो रहा है कि they have set up their own labs in the institutes. And students are given the live problems, live projects where they are involved and trained. And both are benefiting. The institute is benefiting, the industry is benefiting. बच्चों की campus placements भी हो रही हैं फटाफट. तो कुछ positive trends शुरू हो गए हैं and maybe this is a gradual process and people will come into the fold of this kind of a change. अब ये बात हुई इंस्ट्रक्शनल प्रोसेसेस, ना? अब बात करेंगे, अच्छा इसी में इंस्ट्रक्शनल प्रोसेसेस में स्टूडेंट एंगेजमेंट की बात भी होती है। हाउ एक्टिवली यू इन्वॉल्व द स्टूडेंट, तो वो आपके मेथड्स पे डिपेंड करेगा। मेथड कौन सा यूज करेंगे उतनी ज्यादा एंगेजमेंट होगी। तो कभी इसको करके देखिए, अगर आपके पास 60 की क्लास है या यू आर टीचिंग 2 सेक्शंस, एक में आप एक स्ट्रेटजी यूज करो, दूसरे में दूसरी, एंड कंपेयर वेयर इज द आस्क द स्टूडेंट्स व्हिच दे एंजॉय द मोस्ट। आपको पता चलेगा, जैसे कल आप बोल रहे थे एक्टिविटीज नहीं है, टुडे मॉर्निंग पार्टिसिपेंट सेइंग एक्टिविटी नहीं है तो मैं लेजी फील कर रहा हूँ। तो एक्टिविटीज विल ऑलवेज इंस्पायर एंड मोटिवेट, है ना, आप अलर्ट रहेंगे। देन रिसोर्सेस, how many of the institutions are adequately equipped, ये एक बड़ा सवाल है। लेकिन अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं, आप जो सब्जेक्ट पढ़ा रहे हैं, आपने कभी अपने इंस्टीट्यूशन में उस लैब, उस वर्कशॉप जो कि रिक्वायरमेंट है एज पर द करिकुलम, उसका कभी एनालिसिस किए? हैव यू एवर डन द एनालिसिस कि मैं ये सब्जेक्ट पढ़ा रहा हूँ, इसमें ये 15 एक्सपेरिमेंट लिखे हैं, ये 15 एक्सपेरिमेंट एक लैब में कराने हैं, इस 15 एक्सपेरिमेंट के सामने मुझे क्या इक्विपमेंट, क्या मशीनरी चाहिए और मेरे पास कितनी है, कहाँ पे गैप एग्जिस्ट करता है, कभी इसका सिस्टमेटिकली एनालिसिस किया? कोई बात, राइट, हाँ, वेरी राइट। तो अभी अब क्या करेंगे कि ये भी एक छोटी छोटी स्टडीज है कि आपके करिकुलम में 15 एक्सपेरिमेंट लिखे हैं, इंस्टीट्यूशन आपका है, देयर आर हाउ मेनी इंस्टीट्यूशंस इन यूपी? मोर देन 100। ओके, तो कितने इंस्टीट्यूशंस ऐसे हैं गवर्नमेंट जिनमें में की एडिक्वेट रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल हैं टू इम्प्लीमेंट द करिकुलम? ये भी एक स्टडी है अपने आप में, ये एक स्टडी है। मैं जो रिसोर्सेज मेरे पास हैं, फिजिकल ह्यूमन इंफॉर्मेशन, उनको मैं हाउ ऑप्टिमली आई एम एबल टू यूज दोज रिसोर्सेज, अगर ये क्वेश्चन भी मुझे आंसर करना है, इसके लिए भी एक छोटी सी स्टडी चाहिए। जैसे आप एनर्जी की बात कर रहे हो, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी यूज करते हैं सारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस में, लैब्स में है, वर्कशॉप में है, बिल्डिंग में है, क्लासरूम में है, ऑफिस में है। कभी एनर्जी ऑडिट की स्टडी आपने ली अपने इंस्टीट्यूशन? Even that is a research which will help you to ensure optimal utilization of resources. तो अभी बहुत सारे काम है जो कि हम लोग as teachers we can pick up how optimally we utilize the various resources, physical, human, information, financial and energy resources. And अगर स्टडी देंगे तो हमें पता चलेगा कि कहाँ पे फ्लॉज हैं, कहाँ पे ड्रॉबैक्स हैं, एंड वेयर वी कैन improve. Only then we'll be able to design the correctives which need to be taken up to ensure effective utilization of resources. क्या मैं नेटवर्क कर सकता हूँ, क्या मैं डबल शिफ्ट चला सकता हूँ, या मैं ट्रिपल शिफ्ट चला सकता हूँ? अभी हमारे सारे जो इंस्टीट्यूशन, पहले दिन आपने सुना डॉक्टर पुनिया, उन्होंने कहा कि आप 24 घंटे में से कितने घंटे काम करते हो? एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन ओनली 8 आवर्स। आपके जो मेडिकल, जो हॉस्पिटल है, 24 घंटे काम करते हैं, आपकी पोस्टल सर्विसेज काम करते हैं, तो व्हाई नॉट रेलवेज काम करते हैं, व्हाई नॉट एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन? दिस इज, यू आर गोइंग टू इंक्रीज द यूटिलाइजेशन फैक्टर ऑफ योर रिसोर्सेज. दिस इज एन एरिया वेयर रिसर्च कैन बी टेकन अप. Go to the management. अब मैनेजमेंट में भी देखिए, लीडर है आपका, प्रिंसिपल है, हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट्स, एंड दे आर मैनेजिंग. Somebody is managing the department, somebody is managing the institute. You can have which kind of management structures, processes, and practices help in enhancing organizational effectiveness. You can think of what kind of management leads to greater satisfaction among the employees. What are the policies which are employee friendly policies, and what are the policies which are not employee friendly? If certain institutions are one employee friendly, another not, you can always compare the performance where employee friendly policies are there, where employee friendly policies are not there. You can compare so many management structures, processes, practices, techniques. So leadership, organizational climate, organizational culture, organizational effectiveness, ये सारा कहाँ पे आ जाए इसके बीच में? You can take a study. Linkages with the world of work, I have spoken a lot on that. Then linkages with the other organization. आज हम बात कर रहे हैं कि you should have high-tech labs, है ना? So high-tech labs, every institution doesn't have those resources where we can go in for setting up high-tech labs. Can we think of that 4-5 institutions join hands together, set up a centralized facility where high-tech laboratories available and that can be utilized by all the 4-5 institutions. अभी थापड़ की एक एग्जांपल देती हूँ आपको. प्राइवेट आपने सुना होगा थापड़ यूनिवर्सिटी. उनके जैसे सिविल, मैकेनिकल, इलेक्ट्रिकल डिपार्टमेंट्स है. सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स में भी सारी लैब्स तो नहीं हो सकती. So they have created a centralized facility which is high tech, which can be used by any department. So this concept can be extended to institutions joining hands and utilizing that facility. तो ऐसा कुछ हम स्टडी कर सकते हैं कि कितने लोग हैं जो इसमें जुड़ना चाहेंगे. अगर कर देते हैं तो how effectively it is being used, ये भी तो स्टडीज हो सकती. How the students are getting benefited, ये गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशन में आप शायद अपने लेवल पे नहीं कर पाएंगे. डायरेक्टोरेट हैज टू टेक द इनिशिएटिव. उधर से पॉलिसी सपोर्ट आनी चाहिए, बट इट कैन बी डन. आप ये सोचो, आज इंस्टीट्यूशन के ऊपर इंस्टीट्यूशन खोले जा रहे हैं. हर इंस्टीट्यूशन में सिविल डाल के बैठे, ना इस इंस्टीट्यूशन में पूरे रिसोर्सेज है, ना इंस्टीट्यूशन में. तो ये क्यों नहीं सोच सकते civil is restricted to say 20 institutions, but you have the best facilities available in those institutions. And diploma में उसमें जैसे स्लाइड का एक्सपेरिमेंट इन्होंने किया, संत लोंगोवाल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग एंड टेक्नोलॉजी. So they are starting with ITI certificate course, they are going to doctoral level. अब हुआ क्या, सारी लैब, सारे वर्कशॉप, फैकल्टी अवेलेबल है, that can be utilized across the board, है ना? तो आपकी optimal utilization of physical, human और financial. और आप क्या कर रहे हैं, जब आपको ITI का जब आप प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं तो जो डिग्री वाला है वो तो डिजाइन पे ज्यादा काम करता है. area है where you can collect the feedback, analyze the feedback and bring qualitative changes in your curriculum, in instructional processes, the way the institution is being managed and so on. बहुत सारी आप studies ले सकते हैं. I'll just say before I move on to that, अब देखो रिसर्च जब आप करते हैं किसी भी एरिया में, दो एरियाज हैं, एक तो टेक्निकल एजुकेशन में रिसर्च कर लेते हैं, एक अपनी कोर ब्रांच में आप रिसर्च कर लेते हैं। कोर ब्रांच की जरूरत क्यों पड़ गई? हमारे चैलेंजेस हैं, these challenges have been enlisted by National Academy of Engineers. And they say there are 14 grand challenges which are faced by the people across the globe. And these include that we have the increase in carbon dioxide in the environment, and one need to evolve a very cost-effective sequestration method whereby we can control the contribution of carbon dioxide, the क्या बोलते हो आप, percentage of carbon dioxide in the environment. Another is the changes in the nitrogen cycle. उसको भी कंट्रोल करने की जरूरत है. Then 1/6 of your population has no access to the water in the world. And in India, we also see there are still pockets where the people have to go far-flung areas to fetch the water. So there is scarcity of water. अवेलेबल ही नहीं है हम लोगों को पीने के. अभी आपने अगर न्यूज में देखा हो तो दिल्ली का ओखला एस्टेट का न्यूज आ रही थी, and it is said that it is not worth it. अब देखिए, जो हम अपनी गंगा यमुना की बात करते हैं, यमुना इज कंसिडर्ड टू बी द मोस्ट पोल्यूटेड रिवर. ठीक है, तो क्या है, अच्छा आप देखो, टूटियां या नालियां लगी हुई हुई हैं पानी की, देयर इज सो मच लीकेज विच इज टेकिंग प्लेस. तो पानी कहाँ मिल रहा है लोगों को? वेस्टेज भी हो रही है. So there is need to provide clean water to the people. It's the basic necessity. अभी आपने वो वहां पे खरीद रहा है 20 रुपए में एक वो पानी का लेके जाए, कितना करेगा वो, कितना यूज कर लेगा? अगर 20 रुपए का मुझे खरीदना पड़े तो यू विल थिंक नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स हाउ टू यूटिलाइज. ये प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. देन अपने जो एनर्जी रिसोर्सेज हैं दे आर डिप्लीट, but we are not making use of alternate sources of energy. तो किसकी जरूरत पड़ रही है हमें? Solar energy is available in abundance. People are going for solar energy. There is also need to use the nuclear energy, है ना? तो लेकिन उसमें रिस्क इन्वॉल्व है बहुत सारे. आपने देखा होगा जापान में जब न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर एक्सप्लोड कर गए थे, it had lot of adverse effect upon the community. कितनी तबाही होगी. तो यू नीड टू फाइंड आउट वेज वेयर बाय यू कैन हैव अ सेफ प्रोडक्शन ऑफ न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी. एंड देन आप देखेंगे कि कोई भी जब साइंटिफिक डिस्कवरी होती है उसके लिए भी इक्विपमेंट, मशीनरी की जरूरत पड़ती है. एंड दैट मशीनरी इज ऑल्सो द innovation of who designs that? Engineers design that. So that will continue. ठीक है. उसके साथ साथ द पॉपुलेशन कहा जा रहा है, पॉपुलेशन बढ़ती जा रही है ना. अभी 6 बिलियन थे, अभी 7 बिलियन हो गई. इन टाइम्स टू कम इट इज इंक्रीज इफ इट इज नॉट कंट्रोल्ड बाय ईच कंट्री. अब ये जो बच्चे आ रहे हैं, यू नीड टू प्रोवाइड एजुकेशन टू ऑल. उसके लिए हमें एजुकेशन सिस्टम भी ऐसे इवॉल्व करने पड़ेंगे where we can personalize the education system as per the needs of the people. Advanced personalized learning system. सारे बच्चों को स्कूल में नहीं ला सकते, तो what we can do? स्कूल में नहीं ला सकते तो we need to think of distance education, open learning, online courses. कहाँ से शुरू करेंगे? छोटे बच्चे को ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज से स्टार्ट करेंगे. अगेन यू हैव टू थिंक. आपने कह दिया नहीं. सिक्योर साइबर स्पेस, बिकॉज देयर आर साइबर सिक्योरिटी थ्रेट्स. कंप्यूटर साइंस वाले ज्यादा बता सकते हैं. सो वी नीड टू लुक टू हाउ वी मेक द साइबर स्पेस मोर सिक्योर. अभी आप जब क्लाउड की बात करते हो, सब कुछ क्लाउड में है, आप क्लाउड में अपना डेटा भी रख देते हो. What is the security that your data will remain secure over there? कितनी बार आपका अकाउंट हैक हुआ होगा ईमेल, आई डोंट नो, मेरा तो हो चुका है. सो मेरा ऐसा कुछ कॉन्फिडेंशियल नहीं है, बट इफ सम कॉन्फिडेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन इज हैक और योर सिस्टम गेट्स वायरस, हो गया ना सब गड़बड़. तो कैसे सिक्योर कर सकते हैं? न्यूक्लियर टेरर की, बॉम्ब्स की बात हो रही है. कभी भी कहाँ पे हो जाए झगड़ा, कहाँ पे न्यूक्लियर बम यूज हो जाए, यू नेवर नो. एवरी कंट्री इज आफ्टर दैट. पाकिस्तान, इंडिया, बाकी तो है ही हैं डेवलप्ड वाली तो. सो कहाँ यूज होता है? चाइना भी है. देन रिवर्स इंजीनियरिंग द ब्रेन. आपकी जो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की बात होती है, एवरी रिसर्च जो वहां पे है वो आपकी ब्रेन से क्लू लिए जा रहे हैं. हाउ द ब्रेन फंक्शन, how the signals are sent to the brain, how the body responds to those signals. तो ऐसा ब्रेन को समझ के ऐसे सिस्टम डिजाइन करे जा रहे हैं. सो रिवर्स इंजीनियरिंग द ब्रेन, उसमें काफी रिसर्च की जरूरत है. देन जहां तक फार्मास्यूटिकल साइंसेस का सवाल है, कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव मेडिसिन तो अवेलेबल, बहुत महंगी महंगी, एवरीबडी कांट अफोर्ड दोस मेडिसिन. So there is a need to have the medicines which are cost effective to cater to the needs of the people. हर बंदे को जरूरत पड़ती है. एडवांस्ड हेल्थ इंफॉर्मेटिक्स. क्या अब देखो, मैं कैसे एक मेडिसिन को रिस्पॉन्ड करती हूँ, आप कैसे करते हो, वो भी डिफरेंट है. जो मेडिसिन आपको सूट करती है वो शायद मुझे नहीं करती है, जो मुझे करती है वो किसी को नहीं करती है. सो देयर इज नीड टू कलेक्ट हेल्थ इंफॉर्मेटिव डेटा and then prescribe the medicines accordingly. उसके लिए सारा आपका नेटवर्किंग की, बंदे की पूरी हिस्ट्री, उसका पूरा डीएनए क्या है वो जानने की जरूरत है. सो एडवांस्ड हेल्थ इंफॉर्मेटिक्स की जरूरत पड़ेगी. देन प्रोवाइड और इम्प्रूव अर्बन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. देयर इज फ्लो ऑफ पीपल फ्रॉम रूरल टू अर्बन एरिया. सो अर्बन habitation is increasing. For that matter, again the research has to be carried out. तो आप ये देखो, ये grand challenges जो NAE ने दिए हैं, this require joining hands, multidisciplinary teams can work on this. क्योंकि अगर आप clean water की बात करते हैं, it is not only the person who is concerned with civil engineering, how I use, how I keep my water clean, वो भी तो मेरी भी तो contribution है. तो सोशियोलॉजी, सोसाइटी, वो भी तो बीच में आ जाएगी ना. तो ये एक बंदा नहीं, यू रिक्वायर मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी और इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी टीम. तो अब ये जो सारी रिसर्च आप करेंगे, हाउ यू कैन इंटीग्रेट दिस रिसर्च इनटू टीचिंग. व्हाटएवर करिकुलम यू डिजाइन, उसमें बेस्ड ऑन द कोर रिसर्च इन योर कोर इंजीनियरिंग एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, curriculum should have the current developments. होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए? जो भी रिसर्च आपने की इन मैकेनिकल, उसकी जो फाइंडिंग्स हैं, they must find place in the curriculum to make it relevant. तो पहली चीज तो ये हो गया कि करिकुलम में हम चेंजेस ला सकते हैं बेस्ड अपॉन आवर रिसर्च. दूसरा ये है कि जो हम पढ़ा रहे हैं, अब हो सकता है करिकुलम में आपका टॉपिक लिख दिया, उसमें ये नहीं लिखा कि इसमें लेटेस्ट डेवलपमेंट क्या हुई, लेकिन एज अ टीचर माय रोल इज टू मेक माय स्टूडेंट्स अवेयर ऑफ व्हाट इज द लेटेस्ट डेवलपमेंट इन दैट फील्ड. मैं अगर जर्नल पढ़ती हूँ लेटेस्ट अपनी फील्ड का, एंड आई कम अक्रॉस अ पेपर, तो मैं उस पेपर को क्लास में ले जाके बांट भी सकती हूँ. आई गिव 1 कॉपी, बच्चे अपने आप फोटोकॉपी करा ले. यू डोंट हैव टू वरी, यू कैन यूज दैट एज बेसिस फॉर टीचिंग दैट सब. कर सकते हैं, बट हाउ मेनी ऑफ अस डू दैट? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू गो टू द लाइब्रेरी, फाइंड आउट which is the research article which is latest related to the topic I am going to teach to my students, and then use that? नहीं करते हैं. कोई भी जर्नल नहीं आता? ऐसा कैसे हो गया? ये सारे इंस्टीट्यूशन का एक ही हाल है? आई डोंट थिंक, मे बी, चलो मैं आपसे, आप कह रहे हो, मैं मानती हूँ इस चीज को, बट things are different now. There are so many open source journals which are available. आप open source हैं, आप नेट पे जाओ, so many you can read without paying anything. तो पढ़ो, ये आपकी जो टीचिंग को स्ट्रेंथन करेगा, आपकी करंट नॉलेज होगी, बच्चों की करंट नॉलेज होगी. देन आपके जो बच्चे हैं, उनको जब आप कहते हो कि उनको भी रिसर्च करनी आनी चाहिए, है ना? अल्टीमेटली अगर आप रिसर्च कल्चर जनरेट करना चाहते हो इन द कंट्री, देन यू मस्ट ऑल्सो हैव अ सब्जेक्ट कॉल्ड रिसर्च मेथडोलॉजी. बच्चों को अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करनी है. what is research, what are the various types of research which can be carried out and which is applicable in the field which you are taking up. तो उसमें उसका एक रुझान, रुचि भी तो क्रिएट करोगे ना. who are the people who go for research, who actually know, who want to go deeper into the subject, है ना? तो एक आप सब्जेक्ट भी आप कर सकते हो, और उसके साथ साथ है जैसे एक्सपर्ट लेक्चर्स हैं, तो यू कैन ऑर्गेनाइज द एक्सपर्ट लेक्चर्स फॉर स्टूडेंट्स. एंड आप ये भी कर सकते हैं कि जब कोई सब्जेक्ट आप पढ़ा रहे हैं, तो आप एक छोटा सा कम्युनिटी सर्वे बच्चों को दे दिया कि जाओ बेटा, जो आपके आसपास की विसिनिटी है उसमें जाके पूछ के आओ कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स द सोसाइटी इज फेसिंग. तो लाइव प्रॉब्लम्स कहाँ से निकलेंगे? वहीं से निकलेंगे. अब दिस इज ऑल्सो अ प्रोसेस ऑफ रिसर्च. यू आइडेंटिफाई द एरिया, you identify who will be the people who will be contacted, how to select the people, how to select the sample. Then you ask them to design a small questionnaire or an interview schedule. अब वो भी research का process है. So you guide your students in taking up small surveys around the institution or the area of residence and then collect the information. अब वो collect करके ले आएंगे, then the question of analyzing the information comes in, and then you are to support them how to analyze this information and come to certain conclusion. अब जब वो ये कर लेंगे तो एक छोटा सा पेपर भी बनाएंगे, that will become as a part of your report, है ना? वो पेपर की फॉर्म में आया, because छोटा काम है तो छोटा सा आप, they can also publish that and make others aware of what are the problems. So आप उनको gradually you are motivating them towards research. Then आपके जो आप पढ़ा रहे हैं, आप रिसर्च आर्टिकल, जैसे मैंने कहा कि आप बेस बनाते हो क्लास में, you can also, आपने पढ़ा दिया, say for example you are teaching a subject, टॉपिक है, उसमें 4-5 आर्टिकल्स हैं which have been published. Distribute in the class, make 5 groups. 5 ग्रुप्स 5 पेपर पढ़ते हैं, उसका कंक्लूजन दे कम एंड प्रेजेंट. उनको आप रिसर्च में डेवलप कर रहे हो. इसी तरह आप जितने प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट्स लिखाते हैं, प्रोजेक्ट एक्चुअली इज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट. सो अगर आप माइनर प्रोजेक्ट्स, मेजर प्रोजेक्ट्स अपने एम्बेड करते हो इन द टीचिंग लर्निंग, that itself will give an exposure to your students how to select a problem, how to review the literature, how to design the experiment, how to carry out the experiment, and then how to come and report the findings of this. तो सारा भी रिसर्च का प्रोसेस हो जाता है. तो ये जो आपकी टीचिंग लर्निंग है, उसके लिए if you try to integrate research, certainly the teaching learning quality is going to improve, and your students will get a flavor of research, and maybe some of them get motivated to research. अब इसके बाद जब हम बात करते हैं तो रिसर्च है क्या होती है रिसर्च? जरूरी या इनोवेटिव मिलेंगे? ओके ऐसा ओके जब हम रिसर्च की बात करते हैं, in simple words I say it's a systematic collection, analysis and interpretation of data to find solution to problems. कोई भी प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है, ठीक है? अगर ये प्रोसेस है तो देयर आर 4 important capabilities which are needed on the part of the students. या कोई भी रिसर्च करना चाहे तो पहली चीज है कि the person should be able to formulate a research proposal. Then he should be able to organize and conduct research. Third is he should be able to write a research project report. And the fourth one is if there is any research report available, then the person should be able to evaluate that research report. So mainly 4 capabilities are required. So these capabilities अगर आप यहाँ पे देखेंगे तो what did I say? बंदे को because even if अगर आपको कोई एमटेक का डिसर्टेशन लिखना है तब भी आपको एक रिसर्च प्रपोजल बनानी पड़ती है. अगर आपने कोई फंड्स लेने हैं, स्पॉन्सर्ड प्रोजेक्ट है, उसके लिए भी आपको रिसर्च प्रपोजल बनानी पड़ती है, बनानी है ना? तो रिसर्च प्रपोजल क्या है? क्या है रिसर्च प्रपोजल? व्हाट इज द रिसर्च प्रपोजल? जी ओके ओके और ओके हाँ हाँ okay so you are trying to build a rationale for taking up the research. You are given the area in which you will be working. You also specify the problem statement. You specifically write down what are the objectives of your research. You also say what are the hypotheses which you are formulating. That is a tentative solution to the problem of the problem. And then you also put up a case how you are going to execute the full project, what will be the procedural steps, and then how you are going to use the findings of it. Benefit किसको कटेगा वो भी देखते हैं. So in nutshell, it's a blueprint of what you are going to do. It is only tentative. While you start undertaking research, you can bring in change in objectives and hypotheses. There is a flexibility. You can change your approach or design to the design of the research. Second is, once you have prepared a blueprint, you need to organize and conduct that research. That is the second step. That is, person should have the capability to organize. That means he should be able to select the problem, select the right strategies, undertake review of literature. Then he should be able to collect data and he should be able to analyze data, interpret data. ये organize and conduct research में कहाँ तक आता है? उसके बाद जब research हो गई है तो he has to write a report. रिसर्च प्रपोजल में आप लिखते हैं व्हाट यू विल बी डूइंग. रिसर्च रिपोर्ट में आप लिखते हैं व्हाट यू हैव ऑलरेडी डन. सो व्हाट यू हैव डन, दैट इज रिटन इन रिसर्च रिपोर्ट एंड इट इज ऑलवेज इन द पास्ट टेंस, जबकि आपकी जो प्रपोजल है दैट विल ऑलवेज बी इन द फ्यूचर टेंस. Evaluating research is another component. अगर आपको कोई piece of research दे दिया जाए, you should be able to evaluate whether this जो रिसर्च की है, it is relevant, it is accurate, methodology has been used, the interpretation of the data is correct or not, hypotheses were formulated on the basis of the review, so whether hypotheses were correctly stated or not, whether the design or the methodology selected was appropriate or not, ये सारी चीजें आप क्वेश्चन को आंसर करते हैं। अब जब ऑर्गेनाइज एंड इन चारों चीजों को करना है तो उसके लिए आपको क्या आना चाहिए? सिलेक्शन एंड डेफिनेशन ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम। हम बहुत लोग ना सुपरफिशियल प्रॉब्लम्स को ले लेते हैं, वी डोंट ट्राई टू गो टू द रूट कॉज ऑफ ए प्रॉब्लम। देखिए बुखार होता है ना, 2 लोगों को बुखार हो गया, डॉक्टर सेम मेडिसिन तो नहीं दे देता, क्या करता है वो? कारण जानता है, डायग्नोज करता है। So you identify what are the factors that have led to this particular situation. अगर मैं बोलूं टीचर्स की मोटिवेशन आजकल कम हो गई है, this is symptom. Reason can be different for different organization, for different department, maybe different from individual. So I need to tackle those causes to raise the level of the motivation of the, यही होगा ना। तो मुझे अपनी प्रॉब्लम को ब्रॉड एरिया रिसर्च का ले लिया, पर उसको स्पेसिफिक करने के लिए आई नीड टू फाइंड आउट व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स दैट अफेक्ट, व्हाट आर द कॉजेज, देन रेलेवेंट कौन से, इरेलेवेंट कौन से, देन उनमें से भी इम्पोर्टेंट, देन आई गिव अ स्पेसिफिक डेफिनेशन ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम। उसके साथ साथ जब मैं डिफाइन सेलेक्ट करती हूँ डिफाइन, तो मैं रिव्यू मेरा एक कंटिन्यू रहता है, रिव्यू ऑफ रिलेटेड डेटा, इवन फॉर द सिलेक्शन ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम, फॉर स्ट्रेंथनिंग द केस, फॉर टेकिंग अप द रिसर्च, फॉर कमिंग आउट विथ द हाइपोथेसिस, फॉर selecting the appropriate strategies, I bank upon review of related literature. वो आपको बताता है अब तक क्या हो गया, गैप कहाँ है रिसर्च में। इट ऑल्सो टेल्स मी कि किस टाइप की स्टडीज ज्यादा हो गई हैं, कौन सा एरिया जो नहीं अभी टैप हुआ, कौन सी मेथोडोलॉजी ज्यादा यूज हुई है फॉर टेकिंग अप रिसर्च इन दैट एरिया, whether it is experimental research, whether it is developmental research, whether it is correlational research, whether it is a descriptive research, or whether it is evaluation research, क्या हुआ है अभी तक। So whether the research has been carried out in the colleges, in the institutions or industry, वो मुझे मैं उस तरह भी सेग्रीगेट कर सकती हूँ, ठीक है। सो ये टाइम क्या हुआ भाई, कोई फोन तो 10 minutes are left, ओके। सो रिव्यू जो है दैट इज अ कंटिन्यूड एक्टिविटी फॉर रिसर्चर, एंड उसके बाद हम क्या करते हैं, मेथोडोलॉजी सिलेक्ट करते हैं। व्हेन आई से मेथोडोलॉजी, आई हैव ऑलरेडी गिवन यू अ हिंट that broadly research can be categorized into research. Descriptive means which deals with description of the existing conditions, existing processes, existing techniques. इसमें हम 3 तरह की स्टडीज ले सकते हैं। We can take up survey research, we can take up case study research, and we can take up content analysis research. Just to descriptive research may say, for example, you want to know how many industries in Haryana they have gone in for ISO certification, and it calls for a survey research. अब मैं ये जानना चाहती हूँ how an industry has got ISO certification. मेरा क्वेश्चन था पहले हाउ मेनी, अभी क्या हो गया हाउ दे हैव गॉट। तो हाँ, तो मुझे केस स्टडी लेनी पड़ेगी। ऑल दोज इंडस्ट्रीज व्हिच हैव गॉन इन फॉर, आई कैन हैव अ सिमिलर ग्रुप एंड कैरी आउट अ केस स्टडी ऑफ दोज इंडस्ट्रीज। थर्ड थिंग इज कंटेंट एनालिसिस का मतलब है, से फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू आर डिजाइनिंग क्वेश्चन पेपर्स, है ना। मैं पिछले 5 सालों के क्वेश्चन पेपर ले लेती हूँ, एंड देन आई ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट कि आपने कितने टॉपिक कवर किए 5 सालों में। पहले पेपर में, दूसरे पेपर में, तीसरे, देन आई कम टू द कंक्लूजन कि आपका जो क्वेश्चन पेपर है वो 70% सिलेबस ही कवर करता है, 100 तो करता नहीं है। देन आई से कितने क्वेश्चन पेपर में गलतियां करी। नाउ दिस इज नथिंग बट कंटेंट एनालिसिस। मैं आपकी पीपीटीज को ले लेती हूँ जो आप यूज करते हो क्लास में, तो मैं कहती हूँ हाउ मेनी पीपीटीज are developed keeping in view the principles of designing effective presentation। तो मैं एक क्राइटेरिया लेती हूँ, उसके अगेंस्ट आपकी सारी पीपीटीज को evaluate करती हूँ। This is content. Another type of research which can be taken up is the correlational research. Correlational research is which tries to establish relationship between two or more than two variables. अब आप देखिए इंजन एफिशिएंसी किसके ऊपर निर्भर होती है जी? मैकेनिकल इंजन एफिशिएंसी किस चीज के ऊपर निर्भर होती है? हाँ जी, और ओके, और ओके, और quality. Okay, so I say study the relationship between compression ratio, quality of fuel, एक और बोलो आपने, सिलेंडर का क्या, वॉल्यूम ऑफ द सिलेंडर, on and the efficiency of the engine. A correlational study. Here we're trying to establish the relationship between two or more than two variables. Then there is experimental study. Experiment तो आप समझते हो because you are science students all. You have been carrying out. So you have independent variable and the dependent variable. You manipulate the independent variable, see its effect on the dependent variable. जैसे आपने कहा सिविल वाला है, वो कहते हैं एक तो कंक्रीट है, एक रीइंफोर्स्ड कंक्रीट है। मैं देखता हूँ कि जो कंक्रीट से स्ट्रक्चर बनाया था और एक जो रीइंफोर्स्ड से, तो मैं कंपेयर करता हूँ कि स्ट्रेंथ किसकी ज्यादा है। दिस इज क्या है, उसने क्या एक्सपेरिमेंट। एक है कि ये एक्सपेरिमेंटल है जहां आप मैनिपुलेट कर रहे हो, एक है कि आपकी बिल्डिंग्स बनी हुई है सारी, है ना। तो कुछ बिल्डिंग्स हैं जो हिस्टोरिकल बनी थी, उनमें ना तो कोई पंखा है ना कोई लाइट का अरेंजमेंट है, लेकिन वो गर्मी में भी ठंडी रहती है और उसमें लाइट भी नेचुरल आ रही है। तो आप उस बिल्डिंग की एफिशिएंसी को मेजर कर सकते हो जो कि पुराना डिजाइन था, और जो अब ये एक्सपोज्ड फैक्टर स्टडीज हैं कि एक पर्टिकुलर डिजाइन यूज किया गया था, दूसरी बिल्डिंग्स में नहीं किया गया था। सो यू कैन एट्रीब्यूट the effectiveness or efficiency of that building to the design of the building. This is exposed factor where the cause and effect has already taken place. Then comes your evaluation research. Evaluation ka means to evaluate the effect, to evaluate the impact, to evaluate the relevance and so on. So evaluation studies can be taken. तो अब ये मेथोडोलॉजी है, तो मेथोडोलॉजी में डिजाइन इज वन कंपोनेंट, देन कम्स द सैंपल, क्योंकि हम यूनिवर्स को नहीं पढ़ सकते, टोटल पॉपुलेशन को नहीं पढ़ सकते, so we try to select sample for this study. वो probability sampling हो सकती है, non probability sampling. Probability where you can determine the chances of inclusion or exclusion of an element into the sample. वो probability sampling. जहाँ पे आप नहीं डिटरमिन कर पाते, लाइक voluntary sampling, incidental sampling, snowball sampling, purposive sampling, convenience sampling, these are some of the examples of non-probability samples. और probability samples का you can go in for simple random sample, stratified random sample, cluster sampling, and then you can go in for systematic. तो ये 4 techniques are there to select sample. इसी तरह फिर कोई भी जब आप स्टडी लेते हैं, आपको इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स, साइंस में तो आपके इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स हैं, प्रेशर को मेजर करने के लिए इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, एफिशिएंसी को मेजर करने के लिए है, टेम्परेचर को मेजर करने के लिए है। लेकिन सोशल साइंसेस में जब आप स्टडी लेते हैं, प्राइमरीली वी बैंक अपॉन क्वेश्चनियर, इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल्स, ऑब्जर्वेशन शेड्यूल्स एंड स्टैंडर्डाइज। ठीक है, वो आपके इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स है। अब जब आपने ये डिसाइड कर लिया, देन यू गो फॉर कलेक्शन ऑफ डेटा। कलेक्शन ऑफ डेटा करने के बाद, कलेक्शन ऑफ डेटा कर लिया, कम्स द एनालिसिस एंड इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ रिजल्ट्स। अब ये सारा करने के लिए आपके पास नॉलेज किसकी होनी चाहिए? रिसर्च होती क्या है? यहाँ पे मैंने एजुकेशनल लिखा है, लेकिन आप ले सकते हैं रिसर्च होती क्या है, टाइप्स क्या होती है रिसर्च की, प्रोसेस क्या है रिसर्च का। अगर ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग हम हर स्टूडेंट में, हर टीचर में दे दें, सो द टीचर्स एंड स्टूडेंट्स कैन टेक अप रिसर्च। एंड एक चीज और बोलूंगी लास्ट में, एज अ टीचर, your each class is unique because you are teaching a different topic. You are dealing with students who are in a different mood, different interest. होता है बच्चों की मोटिवेशन उस दिन क्या है, ये फर्क होता है। So each classroom interaction is a novel, unique experience. So a teacher sometimes is successful, sometimes is unsuccessful. किसी दिन आपको पढ़ा के बहुत अच्छा लगा, आज तो मजा आ गया, बच्चों का भी उन्होंने अच्छे से जवाब दे दिया, उनको लगता है सब समझ आ गया। एक दिन आपको लगता है मैं तो आज कुछ नहीं कर पाया, बिकॉज बच्चों का कोई रिस्पॉन्स ही नहीं है, फेल हो गया तो मैं। डू द एक्शन रिसर्च। जिस दिन आपको लगा कि मैंने बहुत, आज तो सबको समझ आ गया, what is it that you have done which led to success and which led to maximizing the learning? Critical incident कहिए, लेकिन इसको जब आप एनालाइज करोगे, then you come out with, do I need to change my method? Do I need to change my media? Do I need to change the involvement of my learner? Do I need to change the evaluation technique? उसको फिर इम्प्लीमेंट करके देखो कि क्या उसमें चेंज आती है बच्चों की लर्निंग में। अगर आपको प्रॉब्लम आ गई, आप बच्चों को ना दे देते हो असाइनमेंट, अनाउंस कर दी, बच्चों ने क्या किया, कॉपी करके आ गए सारे किताब में से, दे दिया आपको, और जिसने एक की कॉपी की थी उसके नंबर ज्यादा आ गए, जिसने ओरिजिनली लिखा था उसके कम आ गए, ऐसा। लेकिन कभी आपने ये सोचने की कोशिश की कि ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, क्या वी कैन कर्व दिस मीनिस, कर सकते हैं ना? अगर आप किताब से क्वेश्चन ही नहीं दोगे, बच्चा कॉपी कहां से करेगा? You designed your own assignments in such a manner they require referring to the various sources of information. लेकिन उससे पहले आपके पास होना चाहिए, मेरे पास, मुझे होना चाहिए मेरे सब्जेक्ट रिलेटेड कौन सी वेबसाइट्स। If you know that, you can refer the student to those websites. You can design separate assignments for separate students. अब बच्चों आपको डिजाइन करना आना चाहिए नॉवल असाइनमेंट, एंड ट्राई इट एंड सी। आज बच्चों की आप ग्रुपिंग करते हो 1 2 3 4 रोल नंबर, यूज अ डिफरेंट स्ट्रेटजीज ऑफ ग्रुपिंग द स्टूडेंट, आस्क देम विथ whom you would like to work, try to respect their preferences, करो ग्रुपिंग करके देखो, then see the result of their group work, फिर चेंज करो, एक्सपेरिमेंट। आपका क्लासरूम इज ग्राउंड फॉर एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन। जितना आप एक्सपेरिमेंट करोगे, जितनी आप एक्शन रिसर्च करोगे, उतना आप अपनी क्वालिटी को इम्प्रूव। So that is all about how teaching and research can be interlinked and what we need to do to improve the quality of instruction. So thank you very much. I move to all the two centers are connected. So friends, if you have any question on this, you are welcome. Bikaner College of Engineering.
हेलो।
हाँ जी।
हाँ मैडम, थैंक यू। आपका मैडम ये प्रेजेंटेशन वाज वेरी इंफॉर्मेटिव, बहुत ही अच्छा। फर्स्ट टाइम आई फील दैट कि जो मेरे फील्ड ऑफ रिसर्च का जो फील्ड है उसके अलावा भी आई कैन थिंक एंड आपने इसको बहुत ही अच्छे से मतलब मुझे समझ में आया है बट आई हैव वन क्वेश्चन
क्वेश्चन
ऑल्सो
जी पूछिए सर।
दैट जिस तरीके से आपने ये बताया कि आप अपना क्षेत्र को एक्सपेंशन में जिस तरीके से आपने जब सोशल साइंस का एग्जाम्पल आर्ट्स में जिस तरीके से हेलो
क्या जी सर, दोबारा से रिपीट करो आप क्वेश्चन।
मैडम मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि मैं साइंस लॉन्ग टू साइंस फील्ड
सर आपकी आवाज कट रही है। आप
हेलो
साइंस फील्ड, हाँ जी हाँ जी, जी बोलिए सर।
सुनाई दे रहा है हेलो
हाँ जी सुनाई दे रहा है अब।
हाँ जी मैडम